there isn't a battery in the camera, so I'm using a tablet. So I had to get a tripod and a battery. Not a big deal. I haven't been recording a whole lot at work. Um, it hasn't been very busy. October, November, December, January, and I think like early February are really slow. Just because it's like, you have Halloween, you have Thanksgiving, you have Christmas, you have New Year, you have Valentine's Day. So like those like 6 months I've noticed, for at least for me, tend to slow down a lot. So I haven't really been doing anything, which isn't really good because I'm broke as fuck. But whatever, I dealt with it last year and I'll get through it this year. Some of the downtime, I took the liberty to disassemble and reassemble my tattoo machines, get them. Um, sorry, I was listening to something. I took the opportunity to disassemble and reassemble my machines to make sure they're like nice and tight. Shit gets loose after a while just due to the vibrations. I think at one point I had like a back spring fall off because I wasn't paying attention to it. I basically do every tattoo with this one. Fluctuate a lot between my liner and my shader depending on what I'm doing. I guess it just depends on the tattoo, and some things I need like more than one liner. It's the same that I'm doing something that's kind of like that involves me having to use like a really bold needle and like a thin needle. I'll set this one up for like lining too if I have to. This one I made, I think, either last year I think I made it. It's a single coil machine. I always wanted one, so I made one, but I am gonna get one eventually from Norm. It's one of my favorite letterists, and then I also want to get like a Big Sleeps, and then I want to get one from King Forge. Beautiful machines. I just want one, but I thought I'd try my hand at making one. I do, in fact, have the very first tattoo machine I made when I was like 16. So this right here, probably the sketchiest shit I've ever made in my life. And it's my holy grail, my secret weapon. I made this in a garage when I was like 15, 16. It doesn't work anymore because I did a really shitty job at making it. So essentially, it's like your typical ghetto ass fucking tattoo gun. It's technically a rotary. I made like an on and off switch for it. This right here is supposed to be like your needle bar at the very end. You have like an inkwell. Whoops. So my needle bar, inkwell. That is way too fucking far out. Now that I like understand how to tattoo, at least. It's like, look at that shit. It should not be that far out. I made a inkwell out of a pen, took some shit from a fucking... You guys ever replaced like a fuel line? You have these little notches that you heat up and slide it over. It kind of looks like that. I don't know what the fuck this is. This is a spoon right here. Or this is a back plate. Like, I think that's 8 gauge mild steel. But I made it like this so I could hold it comfortably like this. But yeah, this is my masterpiece. So I made this when I was 16. Made this when I was 22. So as you can tell, with some knowledge and understanding of how to quote unquote like build machines, some of the geometry on this thing is off. Like this back piece is not aligned. This right here is still a little cockeyed, and then the vise for the actual tube is a little kind of like and then it's a little too close to the coil. So this is 12 wrap coil. Fuck. This is a 12 wrap coil. My shader is like a 10, and then my liner is an 8. But yeah, as you can tell, start from the bottom, and we're still at the bottom. But anyways, that's I made this when I was 16. That was kind of funny. I've never used it on anyone. I used it on myself. I scarred the shit out of my arm with it because obviously having a bicycle spoke. don't know if I actually said that. I made this out of a bike spoke, and then I ground it down like needle thin. I'm in the middle of tuning my machines, so should probably change my gloves. Sorry about that. I have like I have like this weird paranoia of getting shit dirty, so I try to keep my machines clean just because they do come in contact with people. So like I was saying earlier, I took the liberty of disassembling and reassembling it. I had to straighten out my back spring, the front spring, and the A-bar because I dropped it and it looked like my front spring was drifting off a little bit from just what you can see from like the wear from it. Damn, I cannot talk today. From where it was wearing down. This one, my A-bar doesn't sit straight, it sits like that. So it's wearing down not only on the A-bar at an angle, but also on the top of the coils. So eventually I'm going to have to replace this one. It still runs okay. It's never going to be perfect just because this back right here is crooked. Ever so slightly, but just enough to where if you stare at it, it's off. Anyways, I disassembled these and I cleaned them. I did like deep cleaning and whatnot. Now I'm gonna tune them, or at least get them to a place to where they're okay to run. I usually make adjustments to my machines while I'm tattooing. It's just easier that way, whether I need to turn up the power or turn the contact screw a little bit. You just never know. People's skin and bodies react differently. So just want to get to a place where I don't have to adjust it too much.
Yeah, boy, you was a bum. Sending shots, better run. It's a game called the fun gun run. Go, bum. Only talk shit on the internet. Boy, you keyboard thugging. I'm slinging, get it, dope, keyboard.